So I see this forward. I see it as backwards. You see it as forward. So I cannot look at my screen. Just give me a second before I start. Let me see if I can get that stand. I need to put it on the stand. Get my stick out, my pointing stick and my stand. Let me set this camera up properly. How is everybody tonight? Hey, who's out there? Who's coming to watch what I've got to show? Not much of anything, but nothing is. I'm trying to set the camera up right here and see if I can get it down on this piece of paper. Usually I like to look. I don't really like to go live. It distorts everything on my screen. I'm not sure if you can see my screen. Let me turn this over. You see my screen? Everything is backwards on the screen. If you can see the, I mean, I'm not sure what you can see. So anyways, let me get it like this. Okay. So this is the Monopoly board. For those who don't know, the Monopoly board apparently was supposed to be 20 inches by 20 inches. So if you have 10 in a row, that would be 2 inches per side. It would be 2 inches. This would be 20 inches all the way across. So how much would this be? This is this one square here. If I go take a corner and put it here and put it here and put it here, you have 1, 2, 3. Here, that would be 3 times 3 is 9. 3 by 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would end up in the railway. I'd end up on the first area of the railway. So this was a way of calculating what would happen if I used this corner as a token and kept moving them over. So I just using measurement. It's 20 by 20. So if it was 20 by 20, each one of these would be what size in order to get that board 20 by 20? And there's an in-between, but we're not going to count any of that. So this would be 2 inches, let's say, and this would be 2 inches, and these 9 would be 16 inches. So I'd have to get out my calculator. I'd have to get out my calculator and go 16 divided by 9 equals to 1.777. I don't really like that, other than saying it's the gateway. I'm trying to figure out what if this was, you see, it can't be that way, because this is 3 squares, this is 3 squares, and these are 2 each. So it's 1.5 times the size divided. I wish I can do that math. I'm going to put it on pause in my head, not say a word, and try to figure this out. But before I go on, this is the minimum size of the board. Okay, this is the secondary size of the board. The minimum size would have been 4 by 2 high. There's more than one board. One board, let me just show you what I'm saying. Because I did a measurement of the Monopoly board. I measured the areas, right? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it in my pictures here. Let's see. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to show you the Monopoly board. Let me see if I can get this out here. My screen is blank. Wow, that's really small. So I don't know if you can see that. Oh, the video is not as good as I wanted it to be, but okay, get the wire out of the way. So what I did is I took the corner and I moved it over, and I saw how much space it took up, and it seemed to take up the area space. I'm going to show you in a second. It seemed to take up the area space. It's not in this book. It's in this book over here. It took up this area space. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here I had 4, and here I had 4, and here I had 4, and here I had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 4 by 4 is 16. Here I had 6. So where would I end up? I would be halfway past the trains, right in the middle of the train. That would be the center, and it would average out to that corner over here, owning 1, 2, 3, 4 divided parts of the board. I look at the dartboard and I see how it's made, and I try to decipher, compared to other games, what size the center would be, right? So there would be an inside center. Let's call this inside center the core, and then the outside center, what the core sits on and able to turn. So these two area spaces would be used. And then this would have 1 area, and this would have 3, this would have 12, this would have 20, 28. We're into the moon. 36, which is 6 times 6. This would create phi, okay, because of the number of areas over here and number of areas over here, and this is what joins it. If it was turning, it's hard to explain. This would be area space, this would be Earth, this would be the time cycle of the 28 days, and this would be the planet house. And then I guess this would be the rotation. So anyways, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 by 6, and this is 6 by 4, so there'd be 24. So I didn't want to talk about this one. I just wanted to show you the sizes and how I do it. I'm not sure if you can see this. I have something on the board. Put this at the bottom. So what it is the minimum size was this, right? And then this would be a property, but it's not. It's not like that. I did the measurement of the Monopoly board, and it's not like this. And don't forget, the corners will always own, right, the first 2 properties. You see the way it sort of makes an M, or butterfly wings. So this is number 1. That's 4. The next one I did was 3 by 3. And then when it's 3 by 3, I get 2 by 6. Now the next one I get was 4. And if you're going to get 4, you're going to get a minimum of 4 by 2. But if we got a minimum of 4 by 2, then this would cover this. But it doesn't. This covers this in this scenario. And this does not cover these 2. You see, if I would do this, then if I would put this on top of this, it would take up 1, 2, and then half of this area. And then it would start half of this area. I want to take this there. Are you following what I'm doing? I don't see any comments. Are you following what I'm doing? I'm trying to figure out what size the properties are on squares, because we have to match it up with everything on how the Earth is broken up. So I'm just going to go and do one more thing. Do I have this story over here? No. I'm going to try and see if I can paste from. Just stick with me. I don't know if you have this on the screen yet, because I'm not with you. Just give me a second. Then I'm going to show you some of the numbers. The numbers are really crazy. I'm going to go get this over here. Okay, and how am I going to know? Okay, how am I going to know if you can see this? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it larger. I'm going to have to make it even larger so you can see it. Let's see if I can get this camera in real close. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just cut it out just to show you what I'm talking about. See, I cut out go, right? I'm going to try and get this up real close if I could. I cut out go, and let's see where I'm moving. Okay, you see the way when I put go down, there's are you seeing? I'm trying to figure out if you can see my mouse. Can you see my mouse moving? I'm not sure if you can see it here. Okay, you see this go? There's a little area right over here that's not used. So that's 2/3 of this box being used. 2/3. So that's how I'm calculating this to 2/3. Or can it be 3/4? I have to understand what the exact size is. Regardless, But then when I move it once, and then I move it again, it's still in the middle, and move it again, and I try to calculate how many of these goes does it take to move from one end of the board to, here's one, that's two, that's three. You see, it's almost 3. So 3 covers over the trains, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and it covers, and there's still a leftover space. So you see what I'm doing. So anyways, let's get back to talking about this. If it was this size, I'm just showing you how I calculate things, how I look at things. Could be the constellations, it could be the planets. I don't know if you can see it properly. Let me know. Let me get this page to get a little bit bigger. Yeah, so okay. So what it is in this area, let's not talk about the trains. And everybody knows that if you have trains, it usually will occupy properties on either the whole property on each side or part of the property on each side. There's a whole equation inside here. Anyways, the area between the corner and the trains are 8 by 8, 64. There are 4 of them. Then there's an area of the trains, and those are 16. That's 5, PH and I. That's the 7th gate, 1 times 6, 1 plus 6. The spirit is 76, which is open to the number 4 over here. So it'd be 747, 747. Christ, Jesus on time on the cross. Jesus time on the cross, because it's 74. And the spirit is 76. And why? Because 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals 7 equals 6. So 7, 6, and 4, or the letters are G-O-D, dog. So we have the calculation of 54. Where is 54? 2, 4, 6, 6, 6, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 24, maybe for the 24 hours of the day. So there are 4 of them, 48. So here's 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 6, 54, representing the sun. This is also representing the sun, 6 by 6. And it's also the female and passing through the cities. It also creates the letters I and R. 6 times 3, 6 plus 3. This is 5 times 4, 5 plus 4, saying birth to the I resident. The I resident, the dot. What is that dot? Is it because we're run by the moon, another planet? What's the dot? 256 is memory, and 64 is a single memory. 64 times 4 is 4 times 64 is 256. So single memory, and these are 5 memories. Where does this come up with? 8 by 8 is 64. 64, 64, 64, and 64. 4 times 64, 256. So what is this 64? 16 and 16 for the trains. 16 and 16 for the trains gives me a single 64. So this can be an input. The total is 410. That's communication. 414. 414 is a 1-for-1 exchange. DNA 4 by 14, 41, the sun. So a 1-for-1 exchange in the sun, it looks like right now. And then you would have 9, 9, 11, 13, 9, 9, 4, 1. This would represent, because I also have to do the multiplication in here. And I haven't done it. I'm a little tired right now. And then there's not only the properties. Now I have to go to community chest and what occupies community chest. And there's 22 properties. I'm not sure if I have it in this book here. I'm not sure if I have it in this book here. This is something different. These are the numbers. On this page, it's the numbers. The quarterback gets 1 to 19. The running back gets 20 to 49. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about this. And that's it. I don't know who's watching me. It doesn't say. Can you type something and say something? Do you have any questions? So that's just what I put out there. And if this world was broken up in a certain way, yes, there was something else. If we went halfway to the trains, right? If I now went into the trains, okay, be 9 by 9, 81 Venus connecting Jupiter. 81, 81, 81. 4 by 81 equals 324, or 18 by 18. And that is your vibration, 324. Creation of the day, if you want to look at it, 3 times 24, 32 times 4, 32 times 4, 128. 32 times 4 equals 128, which is also a calculation 4 by 4 by 8. Which I'm trying to figure out, which is day and night. 4 by 4, 4 parts a day and night. I'm just thinking 4 times 4 is 16 plus 8 to 24-hour day. Anyways, okay, so there was no comments. Nobody usually gets involved. It's a little sad, but I can understand. I cut off the corners in each one, and I end up with a stop sign, the octagon, and the octagon on 64, and it's 8 by 8, and it just has 8 sides to it. I can't go to here. Can I go over here? And this would cut it off at a certain point, and that would be the halfway point between the properties. I mean, you have to go in the door, and then you would have to go out the door. Let me see this. Yeah, so if here would be in the properties, and this would be going one way, this would be returning. I'm just trying to see what can be done. That's what I do. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.